Yeah, because at first I was thinking, oh, maybe BOFMA for commercial entities they don't have, but I don't think so. BOFMA is basically
everything.
a weapon for any false news, right?
Yeah. Would love to see POFMA used in this instance. Alongside this Leong Man Wai thing, right?
Yeah. Because there's been POFMA against COVID stuff.
Yeah, COVID stuff. And it was accurate. I mean, not say accurate, but yeah, it was important.
It was important,
it affected health.
So in this case, guys.
Yeah.
The POFMA machine taking a break, is it? Huh?
Too busy with Leong Man Wai.
Too busy with Leong Man Wai. What's up, everybody? Welcome to another episode of Yala, your thrice weekly podcast where we talk about the hottest news with a touch of what, Terrence?
Good old humor.
Good old humor, man.
I like it with a touch of what.
What? Yeah. What is still going on, right?
Yeah. Because it's budget time.
Yeah.
In Singapore, anyway.
Yeah, because we're recording 16 Feb in the morning, and the budget is going to be delivered by Lawrence Wong at 3 p.m. today.
Thankfully, no cringe like Valentine's Day gift to Singaporeans kind of thing, right?
I mean, I shared with you the video on his TikTok. Him like walking in slow-mo and all. Then I was like, feels a bit odd lah.
That's okay lah. But I thought the Valentine's Day present thing was
that was last year, is it?
Yeah, wasn't it last year, I think?
Yeah. No, why I feel it's a bit odd because then it becomes like this thing like politicians becoming like, pop culture people and celebrities. I'm like, no.
I mean, aren't they already that like Trump was the original?
Yeah, but I don't know. I don't like it. I don't like it. It's just weird. I'm like, then you're almost kind of like making them seem like, I don't know, cool and shit.
Joe Biden just joined TikTok, right?
I mean, depends what they do on TikTok, but I don't know. Lawrence Wong's video felt a bit like you saw it. You're like, it's okay lah.
I mean, they've all been doing it to some extent. Ong Yi Kang has been doing a lot of things. He even did stuff with like Tan Chuan Jin back in the day, right?
Yeah.
So they've all been doing it, kind of like some cringeworthy, some like okay, not so bad, funny.
Why? To relate to young people, is it?
I guess so. That's how people do it, right?
Fuck, man. But yeah. Probably Monday we'll have a lot to talk about.
Yeah.
Or Wednesday.
Budget, yeah.
Budget. Dropping the budget today.
How was your Valentine's Day, man?
Valentine's Day was okay lah. I mean, like nothing amazing.
What romantic gestures did you pull off?
I tried to be nice. I don't know whether I was nice enough. But yeah lah, it's passed. So the week is not over. To me, it's Valentine's week. Okay,
the whole week.
Go for dinner on Friday night.
You say the whole year is Valentine's.
What were you, Terrence? How's your Valentine's?
I cooked.
Oh, you cooked?
Yeah.
Oh, for real?
I think this year is just. I think there's a general acceptance that there's too much going on. Chinese New Year, Valentine's.
Will you cook like a Valentine's Day dinner?
No lah, I cooked like a dinner. But for me to cook is a very big.
What do you cook?
Pesto pasta.
You make the pesto from the basil leaves,
Pretty much, yeah.
Wow,
but it's very easy. Pesto is easy though.
Yeah lah.
Pesto's
but still, to make it from scratch, you need the pine nuts, the olive oil, and all.
The shopping part is the hard part. Actually, I felt like cooking wasn't even that half as bad lah.
Wow.
Yeah. No, so not exactly the most romantic, but I think the like Chinese New Year, people are adapting to the times, right? It doesn't have to be this one big event, expensive and all that kind of thing.
So in my defense, I'm cooking tonight.
Oh, yeah,
I'm cooking tonight. Delayed Valentine's Day dinner.
Making up for the. You saw
Let's not go there, okay?
You saw the hesitation in your eyes when we started to talk about what you did.
No, like I will say, like when me and my wife were first dating, I got her flowers once, and after that she said, "Okay, this is really nice, but don't ever get me flowers again."
Oh,
yeah. But then now I think it's evolved to like flowers for the house are appreciated, not for her.
Yeah. Flowers
for the house.
They bring a certain something to the room.
I also agree. Yeah.
Like that, nice. Even as a guy, like
it's nice, right?
It's nice having like something there, like.
Yeah, so I probably need to get flowers.
Yeah. Pro tip: Tiong Bahru Market, the flowers there, plentiful.
Is it now the post Valentine's Day drop in price really, right?
Oh yeah, probably everyone trying to like sell everything. Fire sale.
Tiong Bahru Market, see. But yeah, it is Valentine's Day week, budget week. And I mean, like the news, I think next week there'll be more news to come out.
Yeah, I think it ebbs and flows.
Ebbs and flows.
Chinese New Year week, maybe everyone's also a bit like chill. more relaxed. But it's still a couple of things that are worth talking about here.
We still got a few things. But before that, got a bit of a slightly longer spiel today. Before we talk about what you should do as a fan, we just want to talk a bit more about the potential interns joining us, which we mentioned like a week ago. We've gotten some responses, but when people email us, they say, oh, what will the job entail and all. So today we thought we'll just talk about the 3 roles that we're looking for. So if you are interested or if you know anyone who might be interested, please send them our way. First is a social media intern. And basically, I mean, now we create a bunch of content. We're trying to do more on LinkedIn, on TikTok, Instagram, but we want to go on LinkedIn. So the person who joins us will need to understand social media and just be interested in creating content.
Yeah.
And then across Yalabat, Ministry of Funny for our TV shows, Folklory, our audio service, then the business development intern.
Yeah.
What that entails, Terrence?
I think for us, we talk a lot to brands, to organizations about, working with us, working with our podcast, working with Folklory as well. And a lot of times those talks evolve to larger projects as well. Like I think we're doing a couple of things for Folklory that we're very excited about. One is the Words of Wisdom project, SG60 related project. Those are year-long endeavors that we need to keep on. And that's where I think the idea of someone having to, work with organizations, working with brands that talk to us, that's what you learn in business development, right? It's basically how to talk to people, how to structure things, how to project manage through a process. So that's something that we need someone who has that skill of talking to people, of seeing a larger picture, getting not getting too much in the weeds, but seeing the larger picture of what we do.
Yeah, and who to talk to also. Who to talk to also.
Yeah.
And then the last role is the project management intern. Because, I mean, at any point in time, we have a bunch of stuff floating around. And a project could be like revamping our Ministry of Funny website.
Yeah.
We just need someone can help us be on the ball for these kind of things. And I mean, I know now we're talking about, it sounds like almost like a senior role, like business development and all. But honestly, it doesn't matter your age, as long as you are willing to learn and just excited about the stuff we do. So I think previously we have spoken to people who are in mid-career breaks, fresh graduates, current students. As long as you got a willingness to do cool shit, you like the stuff we do, just check out the job descriptions that are all in the show notes. We got links to all 3 of them. And yeah, if you're excited, if you think this might be a fit for you or you know someone, we would love to hear from you. And you just email us at contact@ministryoffunny.com.
Yes.
The details are all in the links in the show notes.
Yes.
Cool, man.
Cool.
And then what was the other second half of the spiel?
Obviously, do follow and like and share this podcast if this has brought any value to you. We appreciate you joining us on this journey. This very long journey towards as we are, spiraling towards 500 episodes, man. Crazy, yeah? Like
500.
They're even just saying now like 493
500
episodes right now. It's kind of insane, just to think about. That's like 500 hours.
500 plus hours.
Yeah,
500 episodes. That milestone is coming soon, and we are planning a bit of things, which we will let you guys know in due time.
Yeah.
Cool, man.
All right. So what is this first topic on this Valentine's week to talk about?
The first topic is that Progress Singapore Party non-constituency MP Leong Man Wai has been issued a POFMA about a Facebook post that he made on February 12th about a West Coast couple who was not getting aid, who was supposedly not getting enough aid.
Yeah.
So since then, he has taken down the post. He has posted something new acknowledging that, okay, he got absorbed by their story and he accepts responsibility. But POFMAs were also issued to the Online Citizen and Gutsy Asia, who reproduced his post.
Yeah.
And I mean, essentially, he met a couple. They told him the plight, they're going through financial plight. And he posted something that talked about, how he, the husband apparently lost his sight from glaucoma about 3 years ago. The wife had a bad fall that broke her ankle. And they are finding it tough to get by. And I think certain things he said also, it's Like, let's see. I was surprised that a couple, this was what Mr. Long wrote on his post, who live in a small flat were only given this level of financial support for their daily needs and did not receive more assistance for their follow-up medical care. And this is the harsh economic reality and so on. And then he kena POFMA. Yeah. And basically, I think...
POFMA from the Ministry of Social and Family Development,
yes,
right? Yeah.
yes. And the minister in specifically was Masagos Zulkifli. He was the Minister for Social and Family Development. He instructed the POFMA to be issued.
Yeah.
Quite cool that they can just... only a minister can issue it, right?
Correct. That's right.
Just fucking like, POFMA that. And then, So, I mean, interesting debate. Because, let's say online, you get some people shitting on Leong Man Wai, some people shitting on POFMA, saying that this is just a tool to embarrass opposition politicians. But what stood out to you about the whole story?
I think, firstly, I'm quite surprised that we can't find the Facebook post that Leong Man Wai put up anymore. Because my understanding of POFMA corrections is that the post has to stay up alongside your correction order, alongside your edits because of the correction. So I'm quite surprised that you can't find his post anymore.
That's true. Because Gutsy Asia, Online Citizen, they have kept the original articles, right?
And even, even cases like Lee Hsien Yang previously, they would have a POFMA correction and then the post itself.
Jom also, right?
Jom also, yeah. Because I think that's a requirement. They want you to see the article that was there before and then the correction notice as well. This idea of POFMA. So I'm not sure if he's breaching any particular rules as well by having taken down the post, because it's down now. It's not there anymore.
Actually, I'm looking at the official POFMA on gov.sg. The correction direction requires recipients to insert a notice against the original post with a link to the government's clarification. We'll insert a notice against the original post. So it sounds like it has to be part of the original post, like an updated thing, right?
Yeah.
Oh.
Yeah. So maybe another, we just fact-checked the POFMA.
Oh, shit, that's true.
POFMA instructions, and Leong Man Wai, please put it back up.
That's why.
Don't get in trouble again for that. Yeah. But yeah, other than that, like a lot of the details also came out about what kind of subsidies that the couple actually received, right? And there are even people on Reddit who are doing like infographics specifically of which kind of entities gave them financial assistance and transport assistance and medical subsidies.
Yeah.
So actually it's making the couple look like they misrepresented their situation to Leong Man Wai a lot, right?
Yeah.
Because at the end of the day, Leong Man Wai is just doing a visit to this West Coast couple, and we're not sure how much time he actually had to really sit down and go through everything with them or verify everything that they said, right?
Yeah.
But it sounds like MSF has all this information, and that's why they could lay the smackdown on Leong Man Wai so easily.
Yeah, because just on the official notice, right? Like they even broke it down, It was for financial assistance for daily expenses. It was falsely claimed that the couple only receives a home caregiving grant and does not receive any other financial assistance. In truth, they have received approximately $39,000 in cash and vouchers, including $21,000 from the Comcare assistance. Then the next one, MediSave funds. Then they talk about how much they have in their MediSave, how much is left in their CPF, and to a lot of detail.
Yeah.
And because I think in Leong Man Wai's original post, based on the screenshot on the Today article, the faces of the two individuals were kind of masked out. But you have Mr. and Mrs. Tan from West Coast. Like the husband has lost sight from glaucoma. She has an ankle issue. Identifiable, right? So, yeah, that was also something that I was reading. I was like, oh, shit. There's a lot of info there.
You're saying that it's identifiable because of the picture?
The picture, the physical traits, the situation. They don't disclose the name.
Yeah.
Right? But it feels like if you really wanted to find out who these two people are, you can.
Yes, but not that easily identifiable also. Right? A glaucoma and then a limp on the leg.
Okay, maybe if you kind of... Okay, true. Maybe if you know this couple is identifiable, but to someone totally removed, not identifiable.
I guess you stay in the neighborhood.
Yeah.
And you saw Leong Man Wai hanging out at their house for a little bit. then maybe you'll be able to identify them. But for the most part, their identities actually have been kept.
That is true.
Secret.
That's true. But like, what do you feel about this, Pofma?
I think if anything, it shows we had a discussion last week about the imbalance of information about the reserves, right?
I thought you were going to say Mr. Coconut.
No. The imbalance of information. Actually, in some sense, also Mr. Coconut. The balance of information between, the authorities, the authorities, meaning the government and like opposition politicians. The fact here is MSF has receipts of everything, right, that this couple has received. But as an NCMP, I don't think he's privy. He's definitely not privy to this information, right?
Yeah.
Obviously, there's some criticism that he should have maybe asked the MSF first about, or at least wrote a letter or something on behalf of the couple to the MSF first before posting something on social media, which I think is a legit criticism.
Yeah.
Right. But remember what season we're in, we're in election season also, right? And we've highlighted it since the last parliamentary sitting with Leong Man Wai. He is directly addressing the camera when he gives his speech these days, right? Very uncharacteristic of him. So maybe it's a calculated gamble, knowing that even that he doesn't have 100% information, but the story of a couple struggling, that works.
But I think now it looks worse on him.
Okay.
Because, in part, like when you look at the numbers disclosed by MSF and all, it seems quite sizable.
Yeah.
Having 100,000 in CPF, having the subsidies down from the operation, like leg operation costing 8,580, subsidized until is about 240. How much left in the MediSave? Then it feels like Leong Man Wai should have been a bit smarter about it. Because like what you say, he can ask, and if he doesn't get a response,
that is a thing in itself.
It's a thing in itself.
Yeah.
And it's a very powerful thing to play if you want to talk about the optics of it, right? But in this case, I think it looks worse on him.
But worse to who? To the intelligentsia like yourself, who's like, eating your caviar and everything on a Friday night, or worse to like the general public who maybe they won't even see this Pofma, right?
That is true.
Like whereas like if you look at on all counts, he seems to be building up this folksy, I fight for the people character. I speak for the people.
To put myself out there.
Yeah, put myself out there. And you Pofma me, and then I'll take it down. I'll honor whatever I made a mistake. I'll stand up to it. Does he really come off as worse, or does it just build up more of that the legend of the folksy Leong Man Wai?
I mean, that is true also, because I can imagine some of my older uncles and aunties and all, would they actually go to gov.sg to read the fucking Pofma and all?
Yeah.
Probably no lah.
Yeah. But that's why it's important that his post stays up, right?
Yeah.
I think that's why Pofma was designed like that, where Converse. I think when it was first, when Pofma was first unleashed, right? When it was first discussed, everything, people were like, why don't you just force them to take down the post? That's what it's about, right? But they said no. Contrary to what you all think is the conventional wisdom, we want people to see what's the false news, and we want people to be reminded of that this is false news.
Yeah. I mean, I'm just looking at some of the comments on Leong Man Wai's latest post. When one is overly kind and soft-hearted, he is subject to people who take advantage of this. I believe Leong Man Wai was such a victim in this case, and the government gladly issues Pofma when they should focus on the poor, needy, and disadvantaged. Yes, he made a mistake, but his intentions were noble. The PAP ought to be more charitable and magnanimous. He can surely afford to be. Yeah, that sort of sentiment, it still feels like he's like Robin Hood like that.
Yeah. But I mean, what do you think of like all this information that is being published by the MSF about this couple?
I feel a bit weird.
It's a bit strange, right?
It's a bit strange.
Even the CPF, the amount they have in the CPF also come out already.
Yeah. Because on one hand, I was like, this couple, I think some comments online, I said, wow, this is that kind of calculative couple in any constituency, always make trouble. They probably knew that this would happen. Then I'm like, I don't think so, dude. I'm looking at some of my older relatives and all, like, if I were to ask them the details, how much is in your MediSave, how much is in your CPF, I don't think they know.
Yeah.
And how to access it and all that, they might not be the most clued in. Like, I help my mom with certain, tax payments and stuff like that, because it's still a process, So in this case, I give them the benefit of the doubt. They're not being disingenuous or anything. But putting all the info also, I feel like is a bit much.
Right, yeah.
You?
Yeah, I was just surprised that this like information dump, basically. But I guess if you're going to POFMA somebody,
You
a
need
public
to
figure, you need to
come
have
out
your
guns blazing.
guns blazing, everything outlaw. And if anything, you would blame Leong Man Wai for putting out the photo of the couple. You know, their faces blurred out. Because that's the one that makes them identifiable, right?
Yeah.
If there was no photo, it'd really be just a bunch of numbers.
Mrs. Tan.
Yeah. So in some way, Leong Man Wai also own self shot himself in the foot.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So that's why it feels like it feels less calculated by him, but more just maybe he's too emotional. But this one is like is a political mistake. I feel.
Yeah. Leong Man Wai is not known for, holding back because he's fearful of corrections or POFMA or anything, right?
He's like, do first ask for forgiveness, right?
Yeah.
But then, like, if there was less of those numbers put out, and let's say they just say, we have ascertained that this couple has received substantial cash and vouchers from various public sector agencies and community partners, including Comcare assistance from May 2021 to April 2023.
Yeah.
Will you believe it?
Not unless there's more like data, how they have here. Maybe with a couple less details, like how much they have in their CPF, I think it's still okay, right?
Upwards of 30,000.
Yeah.
In total, they have more 100,000 in their CPF retirement accounts.
Yeah.
The woman was entitled to and did withdraw 5,000 from a CPF account in April 2023.
Yeah, but okay. There's this. I know we talk about this couple. Maybe they're not being fully truthful and all that, right? But I remember that all those years ago, there was that instance of the now ex Speaker of Parliament Tan Chuan Jin, who apparently went on the ground and spoke to cardboard collectors. Right. And then apparently cardboard collectors said to him, I don't actually need to do this for money or what. I'm doing it as a form of exercise to keep myself mobile.
Yeah.
And then he posted that on Facebook or something. And he got skewered by the public for like being naive to think that someone who actually needs help would actually outright say that they need help and then give them full details. But instead, of course, they just come up with a polite excuse, right? Oh, I'm doing this for exercise, I don't need the money. But more likely than not, they're just trying to save face, right? That's what people are skewering him for, and they're saying that he's naive for believing that they actually wanted to do it for exercise. And it became a thing, right?
I
think it's something that haunted him for many years as a politician.
Inspired us to make a video also.
Make a video, even build a sculpture.
Yeah, correct.
For those who don't know, if you watch our TV series, She's a Terrorist and I Love Her, there's a little nugget in there that really points to
the final episode, episode 8.
That whole thing. So if you haven't watched it, please check it out. But anyway, my point is, some people are saying online that there are people who do need help, right, or financial assistance or that, who out of face saving or whatever reasons, embarrassment or something, they don't want to actually give the full details when asked, right? Like maybe Leong Man Wai was asking or pressing them and they either didn't want to give the details or they were just shy or just didn't want to make it look so ugly, right? Do you think this could have been the situation?
But the thing is, they have money. It's almost the flip. Like for Tan Chuan Jin, it was they need help, but they don't saying they don't.
Yeah.
In this case, if you say the numbers, it's a sizable number. They don't actually need help, but they're saying they do. So it's like the converse.
But that means they're wanting more than what they already get.
Or maybe not aware of what they have. Because, even if you ask anyone on the street, are things expensive? Most people say, yeah. You might be living in a landed property with a fancy car.
Yeah.
You ask you, are things expensive? You'll be like, oh, everything is going up price,
Yeah.
But I think that's a general sentiment. So in this case, to me, it's like the opposite. In fact, Tan Chuan Jin is probably more like downplaying an actual problem, whereas Leong Man Wai is downplaying or upplaying a non-problem.
Not saying non, but a smaller problem.
Yeah.
Right, yeah.
And I think between the two, Leong Man Wai's one is the less harmful.
Less harmful.
Unless you think that the resources to POFMA and all this kind of stuff.
Yeah, it takes resources. Yeah. And I'm sure it took resources to pull together all this data about this couple and investigate and find out more about them and things like that also, right?
Yeah.
So I mean, but I guess that's part of the job also, right? As a politician, as a if you work for MSF or anything, that's also part of the job, right?
Yeah, but I think just like the POFMA pointed out, they did say very explicitly, false statements such as those made by Mr. Leong in his social media posts erode public trust and mislead the public about the support that is available and provided to families who are in need. And I think, wording aside, that is a very important point.
It's a real point.
Yeah, because I think we are ever ready to criticize policies and actions by politicians and all, but doing it unjustifiably is also not good. And I think that's where this kind of things can be damaging.
Yeah, correct.
Yeah, because if they are getting this much help, I don't know how many governments in the world would provide this much support. So it's then you're trying to paint a false narrative. So that's why in this case, not to say the POFMA is it's fucking great or something. I wish it didn't have to be this militant about it.
Yeah.
But I think issuing corrections like this is quite important.
Okay. Then on the flip side, should NCMPs like Leong Man Wai, even though they don't have a constituency to look after and all, should they be given more resources such that they can actually follow up and do proper fact checks on some of these things? Because the truth is NCMPs only get 15% of an MP's actual allowance, right? So we're talking about I think $2,000 or something like that. He can't possibly get an assistant to follow up on some of these things, even if he wanted to, right?
Yeah.
It would strictly be volunteers probably, and the resources within the party to help him do that. Should they be given more resources to do that as well as NCMPs?
I think it's a worthwhile discussion. I know I saw online someone mention that in the UK apparently, and I mean this one I need to confirm also. There is a shadow UK government or an independent shadow cabinet. So the shadow cabinet is a feature of the Westminster system of government. It consists of a senior group of opposition spokespeople who, under the leadership of the leader of opposition, they don't have executive powers, but their main goal is to scrutinize policies and keep the government in check. And I think they might have access to things that maybe ministers have access to, but they don't have executive power.
Yeah.
But it's this third party that both opposition and can go to kind of maybe get access to some stuff. And I mean, right now, our parliament is Westminster system, right?
Yeah.
So
but we don't have this shadow.
We don't have We don't have shadow government.
Yeah. And then to add, I think MPs are given a monthly allowance of 1,300 to hire a legislative assistant and $500 for a secretarial assistant. But NCMPs don't get such allowances.
Yeah.
So there are. It is you could argue also a lack of resources. Not that I'm giving an excuse for Leong Man Wai for not fact checking some of these things.
Yeah.
I'm saying these things also do take effort and take time and resources to do.
Yeah.
And probably he weighed the what we mentioned, pros and cons of posting something like that before doing the fact checks, right?
Yeah.
And he decided to go ahead with it.
And maybe he thought he need to post before budget comes up.
Yeah. Actually, the timing also.
Yeah, timing. He was like, "Fuck, this Friday, Lawrence talking.
Yeah.
I feel this now. I need.
Yeah.
Okay, I just post first.
I got Chinese New Year and then I got Valentine's Day dinner to plan. I just post first. Don't need to check. Just post first. Yeah.
Then suddenly, Lawrence Wong during his budget, he says, "Okay, more vouchers for you, more Comcare packages for you, and stuff like that." But in this case, that's what we were saying just now. If it's a matter of resources or something, then there's a way to play that. You inquire.
Yeah.
If you don't get enough responses, then you use that as a
weaponize that.
Weaponize that. Yeah.
Yeah.
But in this case, him posting that, it's just, you look at it, nobody wins.
Yeah.
No one wins. The couple doesn't win, he doesn't win, POFMA doesn't win.
Nobody wins.
Nobody wins.
Yeah. Nobody wins for you.
Nobody wins for you.
Yeah.
There are no winners. All losers.
Correct.
All losers.
But we've seen POFMA wielded in quite loose ways here. But I do see where POFMA would actually be really useful in certain other aspects. And this is one aspect I think actually it would be very useful. But we unfortunately hasn't been used that way. And what is this particular case that we're talking about?
It concerns a local hardware firm that focuses on air filtration, water filtration, called Stera Singapore, who has been in some controversy recently because one of their ads, which was I think on Facebook, was kind of showing someone taking a glass of water from a tap and putting the water under microscope to show like a bunch of bacteria and microorganisms, which was then debunked by an actual microbiologist. But the Advertising Standards Authority of Singapore, the ASAS, had actually received complaints about Stera, about like false advertising, and PUB came out to declare that Singapore's tap water is actually safe to drink and there is no need for further filtering devices.
Yeah.
Because apparently our water safety standards go above and beyond guidelines set by the WHO. And yeah, like it's super safe.
Yeah.
So Stera, I mean, like when we dug, Stera is owned by the parent company of Prism.
Prism, yeah.
Right? Who has also gotten flack for their advertising tactics. I think a CNA video said that, Stera is taking these complaints very seriously and it's relooking its marketing tactics. But what you said about POFMA, right?
Yeah.
Actually, can POFMA be used on ads? Can, right?
I think you can. Yeah. I think it totally can. Like, if Facebook post can, why not ads also?
Yeah, but POFMA, anything can.
Yeah,
right?
yeah. You can, yeah.
Yeah, so that's very interesting. How come got no POFMA on this?
I mean, the Advertising Standards Authority has stepped in about this, right? But I do feel like isn't this like a matter of national interest when
It is.
someone is saying that your water source is not, it's not as clean or it's not as safe to drink, right?
Yeah.
As it actually is, I feel that that's a bigger threat to stability and trust institutions.
Yeah.
Than like what even Leong Man Wai was posting, right?
Yeah. And relationships too.
Why?
Because one party might want to filter and the other party doesn't.
Yes, very true. Yeah.
I'm not speaking from personal experience, okay? Like, I'm very glad that we have decided that we don't need a water filter. But I can totally imagine how, like, let's say this video, if it's shared in like my extended family WhatsApp group, right? It's quite unsettling.
Yeah.
Especially you have old people living with you and all. You look at it, you're like, oh shit, is it really like that?
Yeah.
And I mean, one thing if you got a chance to look underwater under a microscope, generally even tap water, there are microorganisms, right? Our whole body is full of microorganisms.
Yeah.
But this video does look a bit unsettling,
Yeah.
And if they are using it as marketing,
yeah,
it feels like this requires a POFMA.
Yeah, and I'm very glad that Clarence Sim, that PhD student, came out and did what he did on Instagram, or social media, because he is a perfect face for it, You look at him, he almost looks like a K-pop star, like, very fashionable and like very,
funky earrings.
Takes care of himself. But he's a PhD student,
man,
and he knows his shit. So he really called out Stera and made it a point that he doesn't like that companies are using fear to peddle their products, right?
Yeah.
And we should have more people like that. But again, it shouldn't be on citizens or normal people to have to go and call out businesses, organizations about these things.
Yeah.
I feel like our advertising authorities should have stronger power to penalize companies who do this, right?
Yeah.
We talked, even the previous example was Xia Xue and the aircon, saying that using an aircon can help save the world, right? As much as, they said that it was a joke or whatever, I think the point is that is once you repeat something, an exaggeration many times, people start to think that it's real, right?
Yeah.
Same thing here, they're literally using images on microscope and everything, things that normal people don't actually have access to.
Yeah.
And they are peddling it as like, oh, this is what your water looks like, which is false, right?
Yeah, and I mean, like, even more so than the Prism aircon thing, this, like what you said, it is literally like affecting health.
Yeah.
And I can imagine, these sort of videos where there's like the AI voice, reading over it. It really goes viral like crazy on WhatsApp with all this random ass bullshit. But for a company to use it for marketing, right? Because I went to check out Stera's TikTok and there was something about the air purifier and they had this guy saying, I often get asthma attacks and this, but now I don't reach for my Ventolin, which is an asthma medication.
Jeez.
Because I have this air purifier at home.
Yeah.
What the fuck? Like, I have family who take Ventolin and it's like a lifesaver if you have asthma. And if you're making content like that, it sounds ridiculous. So where is the POFMA?
Yeah. Where is
Totally
the POFMA?
Ministry of Health can come on and be, yo guys, stop fucking around.
Minister of Health, Ong Ye Kung himself. He could go on TikTok and do it himself.
Yeah, that's right. You do TikTok about karate, all this and all. This POFMA, man.
Yeah.
Like it's super important. I mean, Clarence Sims' video has 1 million views.
Yeah.
Right. And it just feels like, wow.
If not Ong Ye Kung, then the Minister for Sustainability and Environment, Grace Fu.
Oh,
I
yeah.
think she also can do something, all right.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Come on, man.
Come on.
Come on, POFMA.
Where is POFMA when you need it, man?
Yeah, that's right.
Yeah. Where's the POFMA when you need it?
And I mean, it's just one of these things that I think maybe Stera realizes the power of media. And I mean, okay, so let's imagine it from their perspective. Like if in their mind, filtered water is definitely better than tap water. So anyone who buys this, they will ultimately be healthier.
I mean, yeah, you could make an argument that even you filtering your tap water, maybe it's
better,
it'll be cleaner and better. Well, it'll be cleaner, right? Less stuff in it. But what I think the issue I have here is that they took what tap water is and then put it and then misrepresented it under the microscope, right? Which was debunked by Clarence Sim.
But how we know? Maybe Clarence Sim also.
Yeah. Then that was NTU's fault, NTU never. NTU let him be a PhD student.
The NTU issue of POFMA.
We have to trust to some level an institution at some point, right, about these things.
Yeah.
And Clarence Sim is probably the face of that resistance movement against Stera right now, right?
Yeah.
Looks like K-pop star, well spoken, very good at social media. So he's the hero we need now. But I think we can do more, POFMA can come and help,
POFMA.
Yeah.
Yeah, because at first I was thinking, maybe POFMA for commercial entities they don't have but I don't think so. POFMA is basically a weapon for any false news, right?
Yeah. We'd love to see POFMA used in this instance, alongside this Leong Man Wai thing, right?
Yeah.
That's fair.
Yeah, then it feels like, okay, POFMA because there's been POFMA against COVID stuff.
Yeah, COVID stuff. And it was accurate. I mean, not say accurate, but yeah, it was important.
It was important,
it affected health.
So in this case, guys.
Yeah.
The POFMA machine taking a break, is it?
Too busy with Leong Man Wai.
Too busy with Leong Man Wai. That's right. This one, whatever way you look at it, it just feels like, and I mean, Stera, you look at it, there are all these articles being written about how they are disrupting the hardware space and Gen Z magazine all covering the founders. I'm like, yo, man, how are you doing it?
Yes.
Yeah.
So, yeah. Disappointing. Stera. But yeah, but speaking of other things that can uplift your spirits, right, instead.
Yes.
What is your one shook comment?
Would you like to go first?
Yeah, sure. My one shook comment is actually from our YouTube channel. Let me just pull that up. Sorry, using a laptop today. On our YouTube channel, it's a pretty interesting ride, I think right now YouTube is a place where I think very different demographics of people are both coming and hanging out and arguing about things, right? So I think the one that I wanted to point out was from Hatch880. Talking about Keitania's accent in the game Skull and Bones that we talked about in the last podcast, and pointing out that the accent is actually like an older Baba accent from 2 generations ago, right? So I thought, that's an interesting take on it, right? Because the less polite take I've heard on Hardware Zone and all that said that Keitania sounded like female Phua Chu Kang. Basically, in Skull and Bones. Female Phua Chu Kang. Which I thought, that's actually also somewhat accurate. But so shout out to Hatch880 for pointing out that it's actually like an older Baba accent from 2 generations ago. And there's a lot of other also comments that are actually supportive of Kate's accent, saying that she's very talented and her work is great. But yeah, do check out Kate's performance in Skull and Bones.
And she posted about it also, right?
Yes. Kate, always a friend of the podcast.
Always a friend of the podcast, yeah. So there was a comment on the most recent podcast by Kaplisky, KCPLSKY. And they said it's refreshing to hear from Terence's perspective. Glad to know someone else went through a similar experience. I too initially found myself wanting to emulate the American accent, but as time went by, I realized that maintaining the Singaporean accent while enunciating clearly kind of allows me to keep my identity as a Singaporean and yet be able to communicate effectively. And I mean, they pointed out also that it's nice when you're, say, backpacking in Europe and someone can identify your accent.
Correct.
And it's like, it is quite a special thing, like when you meet another Singaporean or you hear a Singaporean accent abroad, right?
Yeah.
That's quite a cool experience.
Has happened to me before in like very obscure places when backpacking in Europe and things like that. And at a point when you're feeling like, wow, a bit sian of like all this, the food here and things like that.
Then you, wow.
Hearing the Singaporean accent is like a shot of curry, like straight to your...
Do you start talking to them? Or like give them a nod or something?
No, it's just like jumped into that group and started hanging out with them. Excuse me, you're from Singapore. This was many years ago. But it was, many times it has come up clutch. Those moments when I'm like needing like the... Just a bit more different kind of social interactions, right? Yeah, compared to traveling with Europeans or Americans and things.
I remember once when I went to Japan with my wife. I think the funniest instance I've heard of a Singaporean accent in the vicinity. I saw this guy and someone, like his girlfriend, like they just like he was looking a bit solemn, he walked past and all I heard was she told him, "You always say she very fugly. Why you like her Instagram? Why you like her picture?" Then the guy was just looking. Then I was like, "Oh my god! I just want to say hi from Singapore," but it was not the right time and place. Right? But it was fucking funny because the accent was so raw and authentic. And she used the word fugly. And why you always like her Instagram? Wow, it was magic. It was magic. I never felt more home. That was great.
Probably even that kind of interaction between a Singaporean couple. Like the boyfriend and girlfriend. It's very familiar interaction.
You don't think it's a universal thing? Universal,
Yeah, it could be quite... Actually, it is quite universal.
Yeah, I think it's universal.
Across all cultures.
All cultures.
It doesn't matter.
Doesn't matter where.
True.
But, and then your one show thing, man.
There's a video that actually came out like a week plus ago. And it's not... Say it's gotten a lot of views or a lot of coverage. I don't know if it's in the news, but there's a pretty interesting video of, remember the Singapore's Paralympic swimmer extraordinaire, the champion Ip Pin Siu?
Yeah.
She has now been immortalized as a wax figure at Madame Tussauds.
Yeah.
Oh, you know about it?
Yeah.
Oh, I didn't know about it. But I mean, there was a behind the scenes video that I just saw.
But Madame Tussauds Singapore lah.
Yeah, Singapore lah.
Yeah.
But I mean, Madame Tussauds Singapore posted a video about it. I didn't even know that that happened. And I thought that was pretty awesome. That other than just the Joseph Schoolings and the Shanti Pereiras, Paralympians also are getting immortalized that way. And in a wax museum.
Does Joseph Schooling have a wax sculpture?
I want to say yes, given that he's our, Olympic champion. I'm pretty, I would like to say yes. But I mean, Phua Chu Kang has one. So if Phua Chu Kang
has one.
Yeah, if Phua Chu Kang has one, why not? Why not Joseph Schooling, man?
Joseph Schooling, I don't know. Yeah. But imagine having your own wax thing, man. Wax sculpture.
Yeah.
Fucking baller, man.
Yeah. That's kind of like a bucket list kind of thing, right?
Yeah, that's why. I don't think he has, no?
Oh, he doesn't? Jeez.
Yeah.
Because there's JJ Lin I know has, for sure.
Madame Tussauds.
Damn, wow.
Oh shit, don't think so.
Kang, JJ Lin. Yeah. Dick Lee and Madame
Dick Lee also got?
Yeah.
Shit.
Just looking at the Instagram channel. I mean, the YouTube channel.
Madame Tussauds.
But yeah. And how about you? What's your one stroke thing?
My one stroke thing is, I know last week we spoke a bit about the Vision Pro, right? So yesterday or the day before, Mark Zuckerberg uploaded a video on his Meta and Instagram pages of him kind of reviewing the Vision Pro. And he
unboxing, he's doing an unboxing.
No. He basically started off by saying that, I just want to share my thoughts about the Vision Pro. And before I tried it, I thought the Quest 3, which is Meta's equivalent, would be a much better on pricing because it's 7 times less expensive. And then he says, and very bluntly, But after trying it, I think Quest 3 is just a much better product, not just in terms of pricing. And he goes on to say why. And the video was recorded by someone sitting in front of him using a Quest 3.
Yeah.
And he talked about how it's just better in terms of latency, it's lighter, it's cheaper, it's the pass-through, which is where the camera from the outside projects what you see on the inside. He said everything is better, and he also mentioned, he said, I know some Apple fanboys will be hurt by this, but I just urge everyone to really look at it and blah, blah, blah. So, I mean, I would consider myself an Apple fanboy.
Yeah.
But even when I watched it, I was like, hey, actually that's quite interesting. Like, you don't often see CEOs go that, like, fucking just bluntly talking about a competitor's product. And I totally wasn't aware that the Quest 3 has some of those features already. I didn't know. Do you know?
No, I didn't know.
Yeah, I didn't know. So I watched the video. I'm like, hey, shit, at first I thought it was some AI generated thing with his face. No, but it's actually him. Yeah, so I thought quite refreshing. Quite interesting.
So it's refreshing the fact that a CEO is shitting on his competitor's product so blatantly.
Yeah.
I see.
And also, like, the reminding me that, the Quest 3 is out there, but it didn't get any of the fanfare. And then it makes you think, like, Apple really has this fucking appeal. That people just lap up their stuff.
Yeah.
Myself included.
Yeah.
I don't think I'll get a Vision Pro yet. Yeah. But it just really, Apple branding is really damn strong.
Yeah.
And Meta is almost like, it's easy to hate.
It's easy to shit on Meta.
It's easy to shit on.
I guess, yeah, I mean, like with Casey Neistat and MKBHD.
And Wait But Why also. That blog. He also wrote a very long, interesting take on the Vision Pro. Basically, he really likes it.
Yeah. I mean, they're all, it seems like all the YouTubers are all like raving about it, right?
Yeah.
But the proof is in the pudding, right? Yeah. Like the 14-day return policy. What I've been hearing on social media is a lot of people are returning their Vision Pro headsets. Because, I mean, actually, the mantra is don't buy Apple product. Don't buy first generation. One, right? Yeah, never buy the first generation of any Apple product. You're always just a beta tester for what's to come. Yeah.
Yeah. So yeah, it's a thing, like on The Verge and all talking about it also.
Yeah. I learned it from the iPad, like buying the first version of the iPad. Like and then like so quickly the second version just blew it out of the water. Yeah. And you realize, maybe I should have just waited.
Yeah, I don't think I've ever gotten the first version of. I'm normally like apps and all that one. I'll be first.
You're fast, yeah.
But hardware, I'm a bit slower. Slow.
You're a software developer. Kind of like you worship the software development process, right?
I wouldn't say worship, but I just find it. I mean, it's easy, like you just click, download, and can try already.
Yeah.
Where's the Vision Pro? But interesting. Yeah, but
cool.
That's all for today, man.
That's all for Valentine's week.
Week.
Let's leave Harish time to go and cook.
Get the meal
tonight. He's got the afternoon to plan everything and
some shopping.
Buy some flowers, make sure nothing's closed. It's going to be a rush, Harish. I'm just telling you.
No, it's not about the gifts, just spending time with my dear wife.
Get your shit together.
Get my shit together.
Don't like at 7:59 you're still like, I'm rushing to like get dinner done.
No, it'll be great. And speaking of getting shit together, if you are interested in working with us as an intern, get your shit together and just check out the job descriptions in the show notes. I mean, if we find someone we like, you can start like as soon as possible.
Yeah.
So just reach out, email us at contact@ministryofunny.com and follow our podcast on Apple, Spotify, wherever you hear us.
Yeah.
All right. Thanks for listening, everybody.